Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Let's Play TNA 2016. We are here using TEW 2016, and this, my friends, is the next episode of TNA. If you want to know what you want to know what we saw last week, well, here's your chance. As last week we saw the return of Diamond Dallas Page to TNA, as much like 2 weeks ago when Raven did it. Last week, DDP confronted President Dixie Carter in the middle of the ring, just as Dixie was ready to say something about the future of TNA and welcoming in a new era. Also last week, you saw Bobby Roode lose to Bram, Kurt Angle beat Matt Hardy, Ethan Carter III beat Drew Galloway, and the three of them respectively advance in the World Title Tournament, which was discussed on this week's episode of Explosion. But also last week, you saw the continuation of the feud between the Killer Elite Squad and the Wolves. This week on Explosion, you saw the crowning of a new TNA Heritage Champion in Mr. Anderson, and you'll hear from Anderson tonight on Impact as he is in action defending his newly won TNA Heritage Championship. And also, Tigre Uno competed and defended his X Division title against Jigsaw, as Tigre looked to show why he belongs as TNA X Division champ. What was built up last week, this past week on Explosion, was the round 2 tournament matches between Ethan Carter III and Kurt Angle, Bram and Jeff Hardy, and Rockstar Spud versus the winner of the 10-man Wildcard Battle Royal. And the Wildcard Battle Royal was made by Dixie Carter last week on Impact after an altercation between her and Spud backstage, where Spud basically told her she doesn't have the power anymore. He doesn't fear her anymore. She needs to make way for a new era of TNA, even if she doesn't like that idea. There is one little thing I wanted to add, and that little thing I wanted to add was this: as Axel Rotten will be the special referee for the pre-show match tonight, as Crazy Steve goes up against Eli Drake in a hardcore match, and, well, both men, well, I guess the best way to put it is, it's an abysmal pre-show match. But it is a hardcore match, just as a different way to kick off the pre-show here at the McGuire Center in Alabama. So, right now, you will see it. You saw a 10-man battle royal. Abyss, Bobby Roode, Drew Galloway, Lashley, Manic, Matt Hardy, Tyrus, and you could see the rest. But Bobby Roode is victorious in the battle royal. That means Bobby Roode will get a second chance to become TNA World Champion, as he will be the one who faces Rockstar Spud in Spud's round 2 tournament match. But as Dixie says in this backstage segment, Spud, you may have to verse Bobby Roode, but the thing you don't realize is, I didn't call it a wild card for nothing. If you win, Spud, you advance to the finals of the TNA World Title Tournament. If you lose, you're out. So, Spud, this is your chance to prove yourself and to prove that you have risen out of my shadow. Now, we move to the first of two knockouts matches tonight as Gail Kim teams back up with Awesome Kong for the second time in 2 weeks. But this time, Gail has the knockout that she helped out on the first episode of Explosion in 2016, Jamie Jameson. And unfortunately, Jameson comes up short against Taryn Terrell and the Dollhouse, as the Dollhouse gets the victory over Kim, Kong, and Jameson. But I can tell you this much, it ain't over yet between the Dollhouse, Gail Kim, and Awesome Kong, but it may be over for Jameson. I don't know yet. Now we move to the next match, as diehard Eddie Edwards, one half of the Wolves, is in singles competition tonight, just as a way to mix things up a little bit, against Brent Albright. And Eddie Edwards gets the victory over putting forth a very decent in-ring performance in his first singles match in TNA in 2016. And then the Wolves get the mics, and they call out the Killer Elite Squad, the IWGP, the GHC World Tag Team Champions. They call them out for a match this Sunday at TNA's One Night Only. And they say, you want to keep attacking us? You want to keep getting at us from behind? Well, Hoyt, Harry, prove it's time for the hunters to become the hunted, and the hunt is on. Now we move forward with the first of two title matches tonight, as Velvet Sky gets her match against Brooke after beating the Knockouts champion last week. Velvet defeats Brooke to become the new TNA Knockouts champ. Now we move forward with Anderson issuing an open challenge. Yes, this may be very similar to a certain open challenge that you saw last year in the WWE with a former WWE United States champion. But this time, it is with the TNA Heritage champion, as Anderson defends his TNA Heritage title against Chris Melendez in what I would have hoped to be a better match, but Melendez, well, let's put it this way. Anderson got a 62 in in-ring performance, and Melendez only got a 27. That should tell you why the match got a 50. Now we move forward with we get a video package. Another vignette. After taking off last week, a vignette comes in with the Prodigy once again. And he said, in life, you're either born to do something or you're not. And let me just say that as he's speaking, you see footage of him in the ring doing spotlight, everything perfect. Arm drags, drop kicks, back body drop, scoop slams, leg drops, whatever. I was born to be in the ring. Because I am a prodigy. And I'm coming to TNA. See you soon. As the package ends with the Prodigy hitting a big hangman leg drop off the top rope. A picture-perfect leg drop off the top as the video package ends and the vignette comes to a close, flashing up a date that is 2 weeks from tonight. As that means that the Prodigy will not debut at One Night Only, but he will debut 2 weeks from tonight on Impact. Now we move over to Josh Matthews and Pope D'Angelo Dinero as they build up tonight's main event, a round 2 world title tournament match between Kurt Angle and Ethan Carter III. The first of 2 tournament matches tonight, Jeff Hardy against Bram, as Jeff Hardy gets the victory over the upstart brawler with the Swanton Bomb as Jeff advances to round 3 of the world title tournament. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Huh. But I'll look off camera, because I think I might have forgotten the tournament match. But I'll look off camera. Either way, we move to the next segment, and Dixie Carter is back out once more, and she says, since I'm unaware if I'm going to get interrupted again, I will be saying what I have to say. All these rumors that TNA is under new ownership is untrue. I will never let go of this company because this company will become something with me, or it will be nothing without me. And I am not fooling around here. I will either make this company, or this company will be destroyed without me. Just as Dixie keeps going, out of nowhere, look who shows up. That's right. It's Don West. Of all the people, first it was Raven, then it was Diamond Dallas Page. Now it is the former longtime TNA color commentator, Don West. And Don West cuts an impassioned promo to Dixie, saying, Dixie, for the longest time, me and Mike sat in that announce booth right on the side of the ring, but it was by the stage, or up by the side of the ring, over here, in this very building, or in the TNA Impact Zone, and in the fairgrounds. And we put every ounce of sweat, every ounce of dignity, and every ounce of everything we had in every match that came out into this ring. We became the voice of the company. And this company was doing fine. And this company was thriving. All without you. You never showed your face on camera. You weren't even in charge of the company. Your dad was. Dixie, you didn't help. You've only hurt. Now it's time for you to say that you made a mistake and make the right decision. If you thought Don West was a surprise, then I don't think you ever thought that Jim Cornette would actually show back up in TNA. Yes, I'm well aware that this doesn't help the show, but this is how I wanted it to go. Cornette comes out and cuts a promo only Jim Cornette can cut. I would tell him, Jimmy, rip it apart. Rip it apart. Tell the truth. I would give Jimmy some bullet points because I know Jimmy's opinion on TNA. He thought that TNA had potential. And that's exactly the promo Jimmy would come out and cut. That TNA, like Dixie Carter, had potential. Now, like Dixie Carter and her status in this company, TNA has a question mark. Because TNA's future is a question mark. Three different TV companies. 3 different TV contracts in 1 year. Something's wrong. Dixie, you need to take a look at yourself and what's best for TNA. Because that may not be you anymore. Once again, as the special guest leave the ring, Dixie is just standing there, mouth agape, not knowing what to say or how to react. She's just sitting there with disbelief on her face that she can't believe so many people are telling her to give it up. Either way, when we come back, the graphic for the tournament flashes up. The only round 2 match left is the wild card match. Rockstar Spud against Bobby Roode, which will take place at One Night Only. But this Sunday night on pay-per-view, One Night Only isn't a typical TNA One Night Only. Oh, no. It is TNA One Night Only crowning a champion. Because this Sunday, Angle will face Hardy. Roode will face Spud. And the main event of TNA One Night Only will see the crowning of a new TNA World's Heavyweight Champion. And it will not be Ethan Carter III. It will not be Bram. It will be Bobby Roode, Jeff Hardy, Rockstar Spud, or Kurt Angle. to find that out, you will have to tune in to the next video. You will have to tune in to TNA One Night Only, Crowning a Champion. Because not only will you see tournament matches on that night, but you will also see the TNA Tag Team titles on the line with, the TNA Tag Team Champions in action, the Wolves versus Hoyt and Harry Smith, the Killer Elite Squad. As we end the show on a high note, and EC3 ends it on a low note with a temper tantrum, I just want to say this one more time, that you will see the Dollhouse in action in some form against Kim and Kong. You will see the tournament matches as I mentioned. You will also see the TNA Tag Team Champions in action in the Wolves against the Killer Elite Squad. And if that wasn't enough, you will also see Mr. Anderson once again in action, defending his TNA Heritage title. And much, much more this Sunday, live on pay-per-view at TNA One Night Only, Crowning a Champion. But that's this Sunday. As for this show, as you can, I don't know if you can tell, well, you can tell that we gained 27, increased our popularity in 27 regions because of this show, which got us a 68 rating, and by far the best episode of Impact that we've done thus far this year. And I am proud to say I've done it. I'm proud to say that I got a 68 with TNA, because honestly, I'm surprised that the rating got that high. I'm surprised that the rating was that high. But let me know in the comment section below, who would you like to see come in and maybe accept Anderson's open challenge, or just come in general? Who would you like to see debut in TNA? Who should the Prodigy verse in his debut next week on Impact? What was your favorite part of the show and least favorite part of the show? What do you think I could have done better? And what do you think what would you have done differently if you were me? Put all that and more. As always, feedback is always welcome in the comment section below. If you can't wait till the next video, then you're right there with me, and what you need to do is like the video or subscribe to the channel for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time.